the inspiration for our formation. Prior to the North Branford Fife and Drum Corps being organized in 1933, the town of North Branford had hired a Highland Heights Fife and Drum Corps to provide music at the Memorial Day Parade. They were located in New Haven, and at the time were considered one of the most outstanding drum corps in the area. If you were to ask the dedicated people who organized the North Branford Corps what had inspired them to take on such an enormous task, their answer would probably be watching and listening to the Highland Heights Drum Corps perform at the North Branford Memorial Day parades.
The first picture of the Highland Heights Fife and Drum Corps North Branford Memorial Day Parade in 1933.
Memorial Day 1934. After just a year of individual and group instruction, drills, patient coaching, and a lot of hard work, the brand new North Branford Junior Drum Corps was ready for its first official performance, the North Branford Memorial Day Parade.
This is the North Branford Fife and Drum Corps practicing in the firehouse, and we'll start off with a selection called Sisters and Fatigue. It's a medley.
It was first organized as a junior drum corps, and as the members started to reach the age of 18, it entered into the senior class. Practice, instruction, and meetings were all held at the old clubhouse on Route 80. This was a two-story building that had once been a barn. It was located approximately where the McDonald's building is today. It had no toilet facilities, no running water, and the only heat was a potbelly stove.
In this picture, taken in front of the old clubhouse, 1934, there were 35 members. How did we get so many interested in the drum corps? Well, in 1933 and 34, when this was organized, we didn't have any bitty basketball or soccer moms, so just about every resident was interested in joining the drum corps. This was their pastime. The next picture is a party held with the North Branford Athletic Club, early 1930s. This was held inside the clubhouse. The athletic club was very active in the late 20s and the 30s. They sponsored football teams, baseball teams. At this point, when the drum corps was organized, they were all getting older, and the athletic club was disbanded. But they were very supportive of the drum corps in the early years. And that's the reason for this party we had with them. This picture shows the drum corps. This would be marching down Route 80 in front of the Congregational Church with the original fire truck, which was where they were organized in 1938, and the firemen marching behind it. This picture is taken inside the clubhouse. The top picture shows Arnold Sloman taking lessons in drumming, instructed by J. Burns Moore. James Burns Moore was an all-around musician. He played in the New Haven Symphony Orchestra, and he also played in the Foot Guard Band. He was our second drum instructor. Addison Bradley from Stony Creek started us off, and then J. Burns Moore took over. And a little display of some of the first trophies that we won. And on the right is a picture on Memorial Day. This was Forest Hill Major. Some of the members were never out of North Branford. There were two different families that had 4 members in the drum corps. And none of us were very rich. Our dues every week was 5 cents. And we would have to come up and march up to the table where the officers sat, salute them, pay our dues, then go back and sit down.
Now play Fireman and Jaybird.
You might wonder how an organization such as this could be organized, get drums, get uniforms, and pay for bus trips wherever we went. Well, we had a lot of support. And Blakesley, at the time, owned New Haven Trop Rock. And they were very supportive of the Drum Corps. Probably the biggest supporter was Mr. Alexander McCurran, who was superintendent of the New Haven Trop Rock at the time. And without that help, it would have been very hard to pay for everything which needed to be paid for. This picture speaks for itself. Marching down Route 80, 35 members. It's very difficult today. You see drum corps marching like in a Guilford Fair parade, probably with 10 members. This was our first Memorial Day parade. And we went from the white ducks to the red sweaters and the sailor hat to this uniform. We got a lot of comments on this. Not always good. And the main thing they would say, calling for Philip Morris. Philip Morris is a cigarette, and their ad, the picture resembled pretty much what the uniform we had. This picture was taken in mid-1930s. Forest Hill was our major. This was taken in the grounds near the old clubhouse. The following pictures are of the various banquets that the town of North Branford bestowed upon the Drum Corps. The first picture, all these sub-pictures were taken in the old town hall, which was run by the Civic Association. And this picture shows Reverend Leslie, who was minister of the Congregational Church in North Branford, making a presentation to Mr. McCurran. And then the drum corps in the background. And the major is Dorothy Daly. This picture shows some decorations. This was at one of our banquets. And it shows the different states that we competed in. Further below is the various trophies that we won over the years. Miss Liberty is Vera Barker, a native of North Branford. Her parents ran a little grocery store in the Totoket section of North Branford. Now we went from the bellhop uniform to a more practical uniform, again made by a tailor in New Haven. And this is one of the banquets that the town gave the drum corps. And the old town hall wasn't that big, but we did crowd them in. And as you can see, there was plenty to eat. All right, now we jump to 1939, the Farmers' Parade in Branford, Connecticut. Sharing with our competitors, this picture is of the Landgraf Fife and Drum Corps. Originally they were in New Haven, and with the building of the 91 and 95, they lost their headquarters and they moved to North Haven. This is Memorial Day, late 1930s. Shirley Saunders major. Shirley was a twirling major, and as you can see by the number of medals, she won many prizes. And when we went to a competition, the drum corps would play, say, sometime in the afternoon, and on a big convention where it might be 100 drum corps there, the twirler wouldn't go on until maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night. So it was a long day, but She was a very good major. And here we are again with Shirley in 1940. By this time we had many of the original members and some new members that we took in from different towns around. Shirley herself came from Meriden, but not bragging. She's a good example. We have a number of others that wanted to play with the North Branford Fife and Drum Corps. This is a Memorial Day service in Northford, 1940. As we do today, they alternate one end of the town each year.
The drum section left for the competition at the 1940 World Fair in New York, right after the drum corps performance at the Durham Fair. In this picture, boarding the train at Union Station, New Haven, in the front we have Frank Hazlitt. In the first row, going from left to right, we have Mr. McKernan, Ralph Morone, Dominic Morone, Henry Forte, Joe Buccelli, and Mr. Earl Coulter. In the second row, we have Robert Griffith and Ralph Coulter. And in the back row, we have John Hartigan, Anthony Daly, and Luke Camarota.
Continuing on that about the World's Fair, this is a picture of the drum section that played at the World's Fair. And below is the actual picture of them competing at the World's Fair. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 bass drummers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snare drummers. This is the World's Fair. Same year, this is a Stony Creek Drum Corps from Stony Creek, Connecticut. This is below is a group picture of the contestants, and on the very right you will see some of the North Branford members. This was 1940. At the drum contest at the World's Fair, North Branford won first prize for their drum section. And that's why you see previously a lot of banquets that the town gave them for this accomplishment. We had to carry our drums on the train from New Haven to New York. We stayed in the YMCA. The name at that time was a Sloan House. It was in Manhattan, and then we would have to take the subway from there to the World's Fair. We had to take the subway from Manhattan out to the Queens, New York, which was quite a ride. And to get through the turnstiles with bass drums and snare drums was quite a challenge, but we made it. In 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked, and the result was that the United States joined in a war with the Allied forces. And Nick was the first member to leave, and then following Nick, 28 members joined the armed forces. And we lost one member due to the war. And after the war, we picked up where we left off when it went to war. This is an informal picture of the clubhouse in 1946. This gives you a general idea what the clubhouse looked like. The potbelly stove was up by here. And by the time the practice was over, the place got warm. You know. Left to right is a picture of Ted Sahosky, fife instructor, Mr. McKernan, Frank Hazlitt. Frank was the treasurer of the drum corps for many years. Jay Burnsmore, drum instructor, and Earl Coulter, the leader. This is a Christmas party we held in the old Club 80 in North Branford, which is now hydraulic repair place. And we had parents and instructors, and at that time, Mr. Coulter was presented with a gold watch from the drum corps. This was in December 1947. And the picture below shows the presentation of Mr. Coulter of the gold watch. This is 1947. The old uniforms, we had a few left, as you can see here, but they didn't, the old uniforms didn't fit too well, so we had to go with this simple uniform. And now we have a new major. This is Joan White. She comes all the way from Stanford each week. Father drove her up when she was too young to have her driver's license. And she went on to be a very outstanding major also. And this is a stake convention in Torrington in 1948, with Joan who was still our major.
Pictured below are some participants in a typical state-level individual snare and bass drum competition. Each corps was allowed to enter 2 drummers. The snare drummer had to perform a long roll that started out slowly, accelerated to a feverish pitch, and then decreased to a slow beat again. During competition, 2 rudiments were drawn at random out of 26 rudiments in a hat, and these 2 rudiments were then performed. The drummer also played a section of his choice. Bass drummers were accompanied by a snare drummer. Bass drummers were required to play 2 selections, one in 2/4 time and one in 6/8 time. Execution and timing were very important in the judging.
This is after World War II, late 40s, and we have pictures of Ralph Coulter accompanying Anthony Daly on the bass drum. And we have Ralph individual competition. Below we have Wally Fulton and Joe Vicelli, and Wally competing by himself. This is a Memorial Day Parade 1949, Joan White Major, coming down Route 80 in North Branford. This is a picture of the Corps which performed at the Ray Bustis softball team in Stratford. This is taken in the old town hall. Anthony Daly making a presentation to Joan White Major. Joan went out to a festival, I forget just what it was, Minnesota someplace, by herself, competed, and we presented her with gifts for that accomplishment. We had a very good friend in the Gidney family in North Branford, Mr. Gidney, who ran a farm. One Christmas, we decorated his truck with Christmas lights. We put a piano on it, and Catherine Gidney, his daughter-in-law, played the piano, and we went all around town singing Christmas carols. I think we did better playing the fife or drum than we did singing. This is a picture of Joe Barone left to right, Ralph Barone on the bass drum, and Ralph Coulter. We tried to display the new uniforms from various angles. This picture, I think, speaks for itself. The main thing we wanted to show, the different uniforms. On the very right was the sailor uniform. The next uniform was the Philip Morris. The one in the middle was our next uniform. Then the 2 flag bearers here are wearing the present uniform. This was a picture that Howard Keneally, who was one of our drummers, is Howard's right, the second from the right. He made this with the flag in the background, and this was the drum section. Earl Coulter Day, August 1961. Mr. Coulter had been sick prior to this, was at the hospital, and some of the old members of the athletic club and the drum corps organized an Earl Coulter Day. Drum corps played, and they had a little baseball game amongst the drum corps and the old athletic club. And they presented Mr. Coulter with two of our most cherished trophies that we had won in the World's Fair. And Joe Marone is on the left. Luca Murata is next to him. And next to Mr. Coulter is Mrs. Coulter. In late 60s, a junior corps. We were inactive at this time, but a junior corps was organized. We called them the Minutemen, and this is a picture of them marching. I think this is probably the Guilford Fair Parade. There's a picture of them in front of the Congregational Church in North Branford. In 1993, we celebrated our 60th birthday. We had a party in the VFW Hall in Northford. One member, Ralph Marone, wrote the lyrics to the song, Thanks for the Memories. And this is one, and we had copies of it, and we passed them out to everyone there, and we all sang the song at the party. This is the 350th anniversary parade in Branford on September 11th, 1994. This is a picture of the drum corps that was on the cover of the town report in 1999, 2000 year. The picture on the left is a Memorial Day at North Branford, Connecticut. And then we played for the opening Little League for many years at Wall Field.
There's an amazing amount of history behind every one of these photos. Over the years, the North Branford Fife and Drum Corps made many friends, won many competitions, and created a lifetime of memories. The success of the Corps put North Branford on the map and brought great admiration to the town. The Corps is lucky to have had such a rich, full, and successful history, and for that, they are grateful.